Okay, you can cut it. How do you not know this song?
Yeah, of course I do.
What's it from?
It's To Sir With Love from, it's a Bond movie.
Are you fucking kidding me? It's a Bond movie?
Yeah.
You didn't even look on your phone? You didn't even do the thing you could do on your phwn to know that? So you don't know this?
You don't know what it's called. What's the app called? I'll give you $50 if you know what that app is called.
What, that you put on your phone it's Siri.
No, it's not Siri.
But first of all, no.
See? No. This is what you do. Here's a song from 80 years ago.
This is one of the most
If you don't know it, you're an idiot. But you don't know an app that is current right now.
This is one of the most famous movies in fucking history. Okay. Sidney Poitier. Okay. Poitier, or whatever the fuck his name. How do you say his last name? Sidney Poitier.
Oh, yeah, Sidney.
Poitier.
You nailed it.
Poitier? Poitier. No one can say it. Do you know what movie it is? Harrison, you know?
Poitier.
Poitier. Do you know what movie that's from? And you know movies.
The only movie I know is Look Who's Coming to Dinner.
No, it's Guess Who's Coming to Dinner.
Guess Who's Coming to Dinner?
That's what the neighbor said.
Yeah, look at that guy.
You don't know what movie this is from? To Sir With Love.
Black Like Me.
To Sir With Love. It's probably one of his most famous movies, where he was a teacher in England with all these tough kids, and he turned them around, and she was thanking him with
That's
this song.
That's a genre. That's not a movie.
What do you mean? What are you talking about? It's
Dangerous Minds. Was it Dangerous Minds?
No, it's To Sir With Love. It was To Sir With Love.
Oh, okay. Well, I said To Sir With Love.
No, you didn't.
But I said it was a Bond movie.
Because, close. Anyhow, we have our guest tonight, Harrison Greenbaum, who I've learned so much more about. And this is why I really like Harrison. This is why, one, he could take a beating, and two, he smashed me last week, and I had no fucking comeback. We were going back and forth at the stand.
Back off from the mic a little bit, I think.
We were going back and forth at the stand, and he got the last word, smashed me. I had to surrender. It was good.
I don't remember what it was, but I do remember.
We were talking about last comic, and I go, I made it to the finals, and he basically said, yeah, but who's introducing who? It was a good one. He fucking smashed me.
Okay.
And he has some good ones at the table. What?
I just want to, should we get into the plugs and stuff? I just had a friend call me and say, how do I find this podcast of yours from last week? Everybody's talking about it.
Oh, it is. It's a pretty good podcast.
So it was one that I didn't want people to hear. I asked you if you would not put it up. You put it up anyway. And now somebody's calling, I think, to talk about it.
All right. But it's on riotcast.com. Our podcast is the same name as our radio show. My wife hates me. Riotcast.com or iTunes. Go to iTunes.
So my wife hates me, the podcast.
Oscar from Texas. What's happening?
Hey, guys. No, Jim Florentine was talking about it on Opie Radio, how epic it was. And so I was just going to see if you'd give us a quick recap and then tell us who won.
Well, nobody won. We're both still married to each other. So
audience members won, maybe.
I don't think so. It's so embarrassing to me when we have a real fight. And the thing is that.
Well, that was scripted. That was sent in.
Then we pretended later it was scripted because I was so embarrassed. I was like, well, that was sent in from a listener. Wanted us to see how that would go. But basically what happened is that we had a fight outside the stand last week.
Oh, wow.
And it was all because Rich wouldn't pay attention to me. I felt.
But here's the thing.
But I didn't communicate to him that I felt he was not giving me enough attention.
We're not mind readers. Guys are not mind readers. And girls want stuff that they want us to give them, but we don't know when and where. So.
But just maybe every once in a while, maybe just every 2 weeks.
Don't say I don't give you attention a lot. I do. Didn't I walk in on the street say how beautiful your hair looked? But you don't take that kind of stuff in.
No, that's fine. But you think that's funny because that's what you do.
You're right. I compliment you.
You list a couple of compliments, but that's not what I'm looking for.
No, I tell you you're funny all the time.
See, it's not really what I was going for. But that's fine. I get it. That's what you're capable of. I'm going to accept it.
Oh, did you listen, Oscar? Did you listen to the podcast?
What did they say about it?
I'm going to. He just said it was like about the first 40 minutes was pretty brutal and got pretty worth listening to kind of stuff. So definitely I'm gonna have to I'm.
You're going
out
to
of
be
date.
disappointed.
No, you
You're going
won't.
to be disappointed. It's like any fight you've ever had with your girlfriend. It's like,
Oh, I like listening to it. It's cringeworthy. I love it.
it's cringeworthy, exactly.
Have you ever heard our podcast before?
Oh yeah, I love listening to you guys. I called. I've called in before. So.
Oh yeah, but you're very unrememberable. No.
Just tell us you're wearing pants.
What part of Texas are you from?
Midland.
Oh,
West-
home of Buddy That's home of Buddy Holly.
Oh yeah, we.
Yeah, Buddy took the easy way out.
Yeah. Well, listen to this podcast. You'll like it. Thanks for calling. And hope we did a show in Midland, Bonnie. Remember we flew down and did that thing in Midland?
I don't remember.
Yeah, it was
No
at a
way.
theater. Yeah, we did.
All
It was in Midland or somewhere by there.
All right. Well,
And Jews had a
Maybe
separate
I'll-
entrance, I think.
Yes.
Rich had to walk through the back.
he had to pretend he was Italian.
We don't really ad-lib that well in the beginning of the show. It picks up.
Oh my God, he laughed and Oscar laughed at that. You're the only one who.
Well, I laughed. It's true though. He would have had to pretend to be an Italian. So.
Thank you.
No.
Thank you.
There we go.
Italians are the same as Jews. What are you talking about? We're the same.
No.
Not according to the Klan.
Well, no.
Depends who you ask.
The Klan aren't big fans of Italians either.
Really?
No,
I
they're-
bet they
they're-
serve pizza at their meetings.
Well, the thing with the Klan that they're if
Thanks
you're
for
not
calling,
white,
Oscar.
thank you, Oscar. If you're not white Aryan, but you know what? And what gets me is white Aryan European. There's so many Europeans that are so not white and Aryan. You know, if you go throughout Europe, I mean,
Well, every time there's a wave of immigrants, the Irish, then the Italians.
yeah. It's just whatever. I don't want to get into the Klan's hatred because some of it I agree with. You know, some of it.
I had a big fight with the Nazis on Twitter.
What?
They have an account at AMP14. I had a whole Twitter fight with them, and then they fucking blocked me. The Nazis blocked me.
Wow.
That's not right.
What was the fight?
I would just respond to all of their tweets. So whatever they tweeted, I would respond. So they were like, they tweeted an article about how Americans are getting obese, and they're like, Hitler supported fitness. And I was like, yeah, people lost lots of weight in the camps.
Funny. You know, the Jews are number one on the white, number one hated on the white supremacy list. We pushed blacks to 2 or 3. I think it's Jews.
Well, with the cops, blacks are still number one.
Yeah, but with the Nazis, we're number 1. I think blacks are 2 or 3, and gays.
Yeah.
Gays are up there too, and Mexicans. But it took a lot of work to get to number 1. You know, I mean, to be
Yeah.
number 1, it's pretty good. You got to foreclose on a lot of farms and do a lot of evil stuff. Kill their god. Once you kill their god,
That'll do it.
That
or at
gets
least
you up
supply
there.
the lumber.
Rich, you didn't do your plugs yet.
Oh, this weekend. This weekend we're
That's
in.
the only reason he has the show, so he can do plugs for the first half hour.
No, I do. I throw them out a couple times. That's all. This weekend we're in Atlanta at the Red Clay Comedy Festival. Bonnie and I Friday will be doing our live podcast.
Who's
with
our celebrity guest
counselor?
marriage counselor?
I don't know. We got to see when we get down there. We're working on a couple people. I would like to get one guy who's working the
Remember
comedy
Andy
club.
Kindler did it? He was so funny.
He was so funny. At the comedy club, not part of the festival, is Duncan Trussell, but he's working the other comedy club. He's not at the comedy festival, but I would love for him to do it.
Right, you love Duncan Trussell.
I like him. I like the name. I just like the name.
I think you've romanticized him just because of the name.
Well, I like him anyhow. When we had dinner, he was a nice guy and he was funny, and I liked him. So we're doing Friday night our live podcast, and Saturday a nasty show to close out the festival. The first Atlanta.
I'm not going to be nasty.
Oh no, do whatever
I'm
you
just
do.
going to do.
Do
I'm
what
just
you
going
do.
to do nice material.
At the Red Clay Comedy Festival, and then the following week I'm in Cuyahoga Falls
don't
at the
try
Funny
to make
Stop.
me be nasty.
Well, you don't
You
have
dumb
to.
show.
You are nasty though.
Yeah, but this time I won't be.
I want you to.
If you say be clean, I'd be nasty. You say be nasty, I'd be clean. You see how I work, yo?
have you done
I
Montreal?
won't be told what
I
to
have
do.
not yet.
You haven't done Montreal?
I have not,
You
no.
kill. I've never seen you not do well on stage. I've never seen you. Well,
Oh,
the
I
one-
have.
No. I think the only time, and I don't even think you did bad. I don't remember. I think we did a roast together. Did we roast? What's the name from The Apprentice? At the fire,
I wasn't at that.
Omarosa?
I wasn't at that
Oh,
one.
you weren't at that?
No, I tried to get on the So You Think You Can Roast thing, and I never got selected for that thing.
Okay, so then it was it. Then I've never seen Harrison have a bad set. Energetic.
He won a Kaufman Award one year.
That's where he first came on the scene, where we first recognized him at Caroline's when he won that thing.
I think he won it not just because he was good, but he was the only one with a prop.
No, I think most of the guys had a prop tag
They
here.
did.
What was your prop?
I did a little bit of magic at the end.
Okay, so now you started.
Which is very Andy Kaufman. He loved doing magic. People don't realize he was really.
No, but he was so obscure.
Well,
Andy
basically, the
Kaufman.
act
He
was
did a disappearing trick at the end that he still has not revealed.
Right, exactly. I always say that we had the Andy Kaufman Awards on Sunday, so they showed a big video tribute, and then at the end it said when his birth date and then the year of his death, and I always wanted them to add a little question mark at the end.
Well, here's my Andy Kaufman story. Do you remember when we did at the House of Blues? It was supposedly his 20th year. How long has he been dead? 20 or 10? 20 or 30?
It's just been the 40th anniversary of his SNL. So is that he died in 1984? So that would put him at
30 years.
Yeah, 30 years.
So at his 20th year, he was supposed to come back. So they had this big fucking show at the House of Blues, and I hosted it. It was Norton, Odenkirk, and I don't know who the other comic was, but there was another comic there. And so before the comedy show, all these people went up and spoke about fucking Andy Kaufman. But it was an hour and a half of, and Andy this, and I mean, his mailman, his fucking, fucking agent, whatever, talking about a dead guy. And now it's time for the fucking comedy show, which is almost impossible to follow, So I walked out, and the first thing I go, look, I watched Taxi, and I didn't get it. I just didn't get him. Right? And half the crowd, and half was fucking pissed off. I go, he's overrated.
Nice.
And then fucking Norton and Odenkirk killed. But we followed almost an hour and a half of a memorial.
Those charity shows always do that to you. I did a show. We were repairing cleft palates, so it was like Operation Smile, I think it was called.
I love that.
And
charity,
they blew up a picture of a kid pre-surgery, so his face is all messed up, and they made it 7 feet tall, and they put the same picture on either side of me. So you had to do your set in between those two pictures.
No fucking way.
Oh yeah, and they're like, here you go.
Here's the guy with nice lips.
Yeah, and then I did a suicide charity where they're like, you can't talk about suicide, but they spent 40 minutes before talking about all the people they lost to suicide.
Oh my God, I did one of those suicide charities, but I ended up, it was so bad that I was like, I'm going to commit suicide on stage.
Well, see,
I couldn't get around it. It was so bad.
Yeah, I was like, I killed, but not myself. Don't worry.
I did the same one you did, and
isn't that awful?
The guy that hired me, who was a friend, said they have a good sense of humor. So when I walked in, one of the ladies goes, "You want one of these shirts?" I go, "I'd rather be dead." And I got nothing. I got nothing.
Oh no!
But I was just trying to be funny. But that's a tough. That was in a rock club. In Maryland, sometimes
everyone was just standing around. Because a lot of times at charity things, they don't come for the comedy. They just come to support, and then they want to talk to their friends and stuff. And then Matt from North Carolina.
Hey, yeah, I just wanted to see if you guys heard what happened this morning on the Opie and Jimmy show.
Why? What happened?
Well, with Jesse Ventura?
Yeah.
Didn't he? I heard a little on.
He was on the show?
Didn't he peek his head in or something and say I won or something over some argument?
Yeah. Do you guys know what that's about?
No.
Well, do you? Are you quizzing us, or you don't know and you
want to find out?
I didn't know if you knew about.
Lewis, do you know? What is it?
He, in the middle of the show, peeked his head in and said that he won. It was a dispute between Opie and Jimmy and him over
Chris,
the American Sniper.
Yeah, where he sued
Chris Kyle. Yeah, Chris Kyle was on their show, I think 6 years ago.
He said that someone said that Chris Kyle knocked out Ventura, and that never
Right.
happened.
So in the book that Chris wrote, I know about that story. It's a blind item, so he doesn't say Jesse Ventura was knocked out that Chris Kyle knocked out Jesse Ventura, but it's very clear that it's him.
Yeah.
And so and then he said in another interview where he was like, I'm talking about Jesse Ventura. And Jesse was like, this never happened, which is the textbook definition of slander if it didn't happen. So he sued basically Kyle's widow.
Estate.
An estate so that to get money out of that.
But in my opinion,
That doesn't seem very nice.
yeah, in my opinion,
Right.
just because some guy said, in my opinion, to go after the widow of a war hero,
But after Kyle went on the show, his book sales increased a lot.
it didn't increase $1 million point. What was it? $1.3 million or something? He got
1.8.
1.8.
But he made all that money off saying he knocked out Jesse Ventura.
Do you think he did $1.8 million worth of sales because of that one statement?
Look, he was
probably not
wrong
all
to
of it,
lie. He's wrong to lie in the book, but maybe Jesse could have let it go.
I mean, I don't know.
Maybe Jesse could have just went on a couple of radio stations saying, "Hey, he lied." Did he really have to sue
he
the
ducked
widow?
his head in his-
Hasn't she suffered
But if
enough?
you were right, and you held on to that.
I mean, she didn't write the book.
You want to go back and
What's that?
you were right.
Wait, say
Held
again?
on to that for 6 years, and
Yeah.
you knew you were right the whole time.
Okay, so is that okay? He knew he was right.
No,
Jesse
you're
knew
on
he was
Jesse
right.
Ventura's side, right, Matt?
I'm not. I'm impartial.
No, you're
But-
not.
Is this Jesse Ventura?
I can tell you're working for
is.
Jesse Ventura.
This is just.
Okay,
James
I don't
Atomian?
know. I just want to see what you guys saw. And
listen.
you guys are impartial, and I like listening to your show.
I know the story to some extent, which
I
everybody
just
knows.
heard the story.
Oh, I know. I've heard it. But I just think, you know what he should have done if he won the suit. Then he said, you know what? That's all I need is to prove it's
Right.
slander.
Now
I don't need
let me donate the money
back to the family.
back to the family. To snipers.
No, do you
Let's
think the widow?
donate to
A self-defense fund, so nobody else gets knocked out.
No, fuck. Do you think the widow has $1.8 million to?
Probably she sold the movie rights and stuff.
Whatever. I don't know.
She was on the Academy Awards.
Yeah. Well, whatever. I just think I don't know. Maybe Jesse needed the money. Maybe he was. Maybe he's.
Wasn't she on Dancing with the Stars or something?
Who?
I don't know. I'm sure she
No.
will be. I'm sure she will be.
Go to this guy. I don't know what he's talking about. The new
Okay,
host
thanks,
show.
Matt.
Thanks.
Sam from Minnesota or Minneapolis.
Hi, how's it going?
Sorry.
Hey.
Oh, you were at my.
Hey.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it was great. Just want to say thanks again. I brought 5 friends with me. They all were telling me the whole week before, you better be funny, and they all loved it.
That I better be funny.
Yeah, well, they hadn't heard you, and I convinced them to come along, and they loved it in the end. But yeah, I just want to say thanks, and I was wondering if it's like playing at a movie theater.
Well, yeah, it's called the New Hope Cinema in Minnesota. You guys were sitting in the. If I was facing you,
He knows the people all the time.
Well, I
They
remember
call it,
five-
and he's always
listen.
like, "You were wearing a flannel shirt off
No.
to the left." It's like I don't know how.
I remember 5
Maybe I
guys.
have more people in my shows. I couldn't. I don't know how he does
Surrounding
this.
everybody in Minnesota.
I know 5
That's
guys.
his superpower.
I remember 5 guys sitting together in the back to my left from the stage. I remember 5
Yeah.
guys. Was that you guys?
Yeah, I saw you. Yeah, I watched you trying to walk in the door and on a Saturday night stumbling.
Stumbling.
I was
Stumbling.
stumbling. I probably tripped over my own feet.
Trying to open the door that was locked. I was like, oh, there's Rich Voss coming in. Oh, that's the locked door.
Red.
I didn't go in a locked door.
Boom! You tried.
No, I didn't. This
You
guy.
tried.
Look at this
Is
guy.
that a metaphor for the whole industry? You just try to get into a locked door that won't budge.
Yes.
Oh, there was a line of people blocking you in, so I can't blame you on that.
Well, I remember. How fucking brilliant was I? Come on, let's be real.
He's a legend.
Well, I don't think it could get any more brilliant. Let's be honest.
Wow.
I was on.
Wow.
This guy.
Thank you. Well, thank you for
Yeah,
supporting.
Yeah, man.
Well, it's better than a
Thank you very
shooting.
much.
All right.
Oh yeah.
All right. Don't say anything bad.
Thank
I'll
you,
sue you
Sam.
for 1.8 million.
Well,
You know,
come
I'm
on.
working this
Sorry,
club-
Sam. Whatever.
And Florentine's at the New Hope Cinema this weekend, and hopefully they put him on the front page for Saturday night because they only had me on Friday night on the front page for Friday, not Saturday. But it's a cool gig. It's whatever.
Did you get to see any other movies while you're there?
No, because they were earlier in the day and I played golf. But I want to see. They were showing they were showing Mission Impossible or whatever. But and straight out of Compton. Whatever. How come in every black movie the mother slaps the kid and says, "I've worked my life off for you to," and there's always a slap and
Because she
Jews do it
has.
just with guilt. They do it emotionally.
She worked her whole life. She
Maybe
smacked him.
she did. Maybe she worked her whole life.
Yeah. And for him not to follow his dream?
Yeah. Because in my culture, we're taught not to follow your dreams.
Where? In Canada?
Yeah, you're taught to just go and get a job as like a hairdresser or a school teacher. Something. Nail salon, sure, but not if you want to own the nail salon. Don't follow your dreams. That's we were in her.
We went to her hometown once, and we went to was it a Mexican restaurant?
Yes.
And we ordered.
No, it was just a restaurant, but they had fajitas there. We ordered the fajitas, and they came with the chicken, and the fajitas came with teriyaki sauce on them, and then they had salsa on the side. And we were like, "Yeah, that's not how a fajita is. You don't put teriyaki sauce." And the guy goes, "Well, no one's ever complained, eh?" And they were very mad at us because we were like, "Well, this is not how it's done."
Like Chinese, Mexican, they're all the same to us.
Yeah, it's like, you want foreign food? You got it.
And then how about the hotel bed? When we slept in a hotel that night and the bed was hard as a rock?
No, that was...
Nobody's complained about that before.
That was from when I was... That was when I was working Canada on my own.
Oh.
It's all because I don't want to say too much because it's all in the book.
Oh, okay.
At the end of Straight Outta Compton, do they show what they've been up to since that
I didn't see the movie. I didn't see the whole movie.
Because they're very like gangsta, and then at the end it'd be funny if they just cut to Ice Cube and those kids movies he's done lately. Yeah. Over the credits, it's like now he's doing that.
Yeah, where did he go from like fucking like Thug City to like I
think it's called Are We There Yet? It's like a road trip movie.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
He's done a bunch of those movies. He's done a lot of them.
Barbershop. Was he in those?
Yeah.
I'm just going to name black
Friday.
movies and hope for the best.
Soul Plane.
Something Tyler Perry did.
Okay, so you start now. How long have you been doing stand up?
Stand up since I was 18. So 11 years.
I don't know how fucking old you are.
11 years.
Wow, you're young.
Okay, so and how long have you been doing magic?
Since I was about 5.
No fucking way.
Since I was a little kid, yeah.
Like the little they bought you the magic kits.
I got the little magic kits. I went to magic camp.
Wow.
Which is a real thing.
So you weren't popular at all.
Yeah, exactly. Except at magic camp. At magic camp, it was cool to be a magician. But otherwise...
At your magic camp, is there anybody that came out of there that became a lot
of people came out there. But
came out,
but like, did anybody, could you say like, the Louis C.K. of magic?
We had David Blaine.
Was in your magic camp.
Was a magic camper. Adrian
not at your magic camp?
At my magic camp.
David Are you Blaine. Fucking kidding me right now?
David Blaine.
And Adrian Brody, actually, who came out of my magic camp.
Wow.
He was a magician?
Academy Award-winning actor, Adrian Brody.
We didn't know.
Who would hide things in his
very
nose.
good sleight of hand.
Yeah, he would pull a dove out of his nose.
Right, exactly. He had a lot of room up there.
So, Adrian, where was the camp at? In New York?
When I went as a kid, I'm a counselor now. It's moved to Bryn Mawr, which kind of looks like Hogwarts. It's a beautiful campus, although an all-girls school during the year. In Philadelphia. So it's an all-girls campus, so no urinals for a week. But we were in Islip in Long Island when I was a kid.
So then it moved to Philly.
Yeah.
And it's the same camp that...
Yeah, same staff. A lot of people stay for years. Like I was a camper for years, and now I'm a counselor.
Wait,
so
you're
I go back every year.
Whoa. In the summer?
For a week, I disappear and go to Philadelphia.
And you teach kids?
Okay, so
magic.
How does the camp work? Like when you were there...
Oh, man. Does anybody at the cellar know this?
I feel like the way I do it is it's the way a preschool teacher approaches her burlesque career. It's just like... but I've done some weird magics. I mean, I remember getting a call for a gig, and they wanted it's for deaf people. Yeah. They're like, is that going to be hard? And I was like, no, it'll be like the easiest gig I ever do. Right. They just had them pick cards. I'm like, I'm going to turn around, you show everybody. Then my friend in the back just screamed out what cards they were all saying.
Oh, God, that is cheating.
So
when you were at Magic Camp, so you go in and you're in the the beginner group. Right?
Yeah, there's different levels. There's beginner, intermediate, and advanced.
You're like a white belt of magic.
Right.
So
you walk in very cocky.
How high did you get up?
To the top advanced level.
You did?
Yeah.
You were with David Blaine up in the advanced level.
Yeah, it's called advanced close-up.
Did you think, oh, this guy's he's really gonna be somebody?
Blaine is older than I am, so he was a camper before I ever got to camp. So he was one of the more success stories.
Well, you call you guys self campers?
We're campers. Oh yeah.
What about Chris?
Wait. Let's get more David Blaine stuff.
I know. He doesn't know because he wasn't in actual camp with him.
But David Blaine.
He came back as a counselor though.
Oh.
But they showed how he stays underwater that long. They showed how he breathes through the tube and everything. But when I saw him in New York. I had pictures where he was buried.
That was his first big stunt.
Yeah, he was.
I was just talking to this guy, Bill Kalush, who is still David Blaine's one of his closest advisors. He runs this thing called the Conjuring Arts Library, and we were talking about why David Blaine even got into the stunts because he's a magician, and those stunts are more just about endurance and strength. And they were just reading about Harry Houdini, and they were like, "That he's probably the most famous magician of our time, or of all time." Jew. Eric Weiss is his real name. Copperfield, also a Jew. Jesus, also a Jew. All the magicians.
Yes.
But Houdini got famous by doing these public outdoor stunts. So they were like, how come nobody's ever used that as a template? Right. So that's what they did. They consciously were sort of using the Houdini template, which is you do these big outdoor stunts, get all this press, all these people to come and check it out, and that leads them to your magic shows. So that was Buried Alive.
Well, I mean, I went there and I signed the book. I don't remember what the whole gig was.
It was a whole week. He was in a clear coffin underneath. There was water on top of it. Yeah. He was literally buried in this coffin for a full week. Oh, he had a little bit of water. I think they were able to get him water because you can't last for a week without water. Yeah. But no food and just a little bit of water, whatever bottle of water he had or something.
But that's just survival. That's not really a trick.
No, no, you could easily go fucking nuts or go.
Yeah, he couldn't move. I mean, he's literally in a coffin. But you could go. He would wave at you, and you could. It was a whole week. So
but it's not a trick.
It's not a trick.
No, It's not a trick. But it's as freaky and as crazy as anything on the planet.
I met him once,
Where?
I was working on a show called Spy TV where we did epic stunts or something. Epic, hidden camera things. And I don't know why he came by one of the things and was hanging out. He was like this. How you guys doing? Good.
Yeah, he's very.
Yeah, having fun.
Did you see the movie, The Incredible Burt
Wonderstone?
Wonderstone. Yeah. Was there real magicians in that? I'm trying to remember. I liked the movie.
Copperfield pops up for a second.
I liked the movie. It was Steve Carell. Jim Carrey was in the movie. The movie didn't do well, but Jim Carrey's not even the lead, but he gets to blame that the movie didn't do well.
Yeah, and he's supposed to be like Chris Angel, so instead of being mind freak, he's the mind rapist.
Yeah. And Jay Moore stole almost every scene he was in that movie. He was good in the movie.
Copperfield, there was a couple of years where Copperfield had this bad toupee, which was very disheartening because he's supposed to be the greatest magician of all time, and he couldn't do the illusion of hair.
But he used to come into Caroline's all the time and watch the shows.
He tried to open a theme restaurant next to Caroline's called the Magic Underground.
Oh yeah, I remember across the street and upstairs.
And he was gonna, the waiter would come over with this empty dish and be like, uh-oh, and then you put the thing on, your food would appear, and it's supposed to be this whole magical experience.
But he didn't get the money, the backing or something. It fell through.
Yeah.
I mean, totally.
Well, he has enough money. He owns an island.
Well, yeah, but also to open a restaurant on Broadway, you're not going to take that chance with your own money. And he couldn't because Caroline tried to open a theme restaurant.
Do you remember that? Comedy Nation?
Yes. and the problem was they didn't have real artifacts from comedy. They didn't have any, you go into Hard Rock, where you see fucking Hendrix guitar or Keith Richards.
What are you going to do? It's like, this microphone was used by Elaine Boozler, and this microphone was
they could get signed shirts. I don't know.
It's like there's no props for a comedian. It's just a microphone.
No, this is one of Louis' 4,000 black T-shirts.
Yes, exactly.
No, they could have got some stuff.
Comedy Magic Club has a bunch of stuff. On their walls, they have the thing George Carlin did one of his specials in. They have a bunch of Robin Williams things.
I guess you could have some set lists.
Yeah, you could have
you could have fucking Janine Redder sets off of.
You could have fucking Gallagher's fucking first Sledgehammer.
Oh, that'd be good. Do you remember the wall? That was the only thing I remember about it, was that they had a wall where the waiters were required to pop their head out at certain intervals and do knock-knock jokes.
Oh, like Comedy Nation?
Yeah, this window would open up and the waiter would be like, it's time for jokes. And then they would do a joke and then pop back.
Well, I don't like those restaurants. In LA, there's restaurants where you go and then magicians just come by your table.
I did that in high school, senior year of high school.
it's like fun once, but you're like, thank you.
And the big thing that people also forget, so I was at a Mexican restaurant called Pancho's, and every Saturday for a whole summer I did magic from table to table. But I was very careful that if I had things in people's hands, that I was cleaning them constantly, because there's some magicians, like, you put their props in your hand, and they just hit 5 tables, and now you're about to eat with those. Right. So I wanted to make sure, like, even just the sanitary thing has to be thought about.
Can you do 3-card money?
I can do some of that stuff. Oh yeah, I've only used my powers for good, but
can you do? You could do the 3-card.
Oh yeah, and some poker stuff too.
What do you mean some like what?
Some good like poker deal, different moves for that.
It should be if you were gambling in Vegas or anything, there's nothing you could do unless I mean, can you count cards? Are you a card counter too?
A little bit. I mean, I wouldn't try anything in any stuff that I would be doing at Vegas would be very easily caught. You have to go to like the next level to fool them at this point. There's so many cameras and all sorts of stuff.
I don't know why.
And if you just win at all,
right? Exactly.
They start watching you.
Like, but I don't know why that should be illegal to count cards, because
it's not illegal. So you can't get arrested.
It's not
the cops
illegal,
can't arrest you.
They can ask you to leave. They can refuse the right to
But they're a private
anyone.
establishment. So that's sort of the loophole. Is you can't go to jail for card counting.
Yes.
They could just. The only problem is there's that old school mafia thing where the fear in the back of your head is, if they take me to a back room, nobody knows where I am, and
yeah, but you don't let them take you to a fucking back room. That's
right. Well, that's why those guys just leave. They go, "Thank you, good night."
No, you get.
But
your
they get
money.
roughed up. Those guys,
huh?
Those guys can get pretty roughed up.
Not nowadays. It's all corporate. It's not mobsters anymore. It's all corporations. Fucking Harris owns half of the fucking Vegas, and MGM owns the other half. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not like, maybe the mobsters run the fucking laundry or the fucking, but it's not like it used to be. It's all corporate. So no one's taking you in the back room. Harris is not taking you in the back room and fucking crushing your fingers with a hammer. Okay? Because I see you'd have a nice lawsuit going.
Right.
Josh from Nebraska, what do you want to say?
Hey, thanks for taking my call. I got a question for Harrison. Hey, Harrison, can you use your ass to make a dick magically disappear?
Oh, I see what he did there.
That was.
Is that a?
And you know what he did right there?
He said to the screener, it's a compliment.
Oh, let's go to this guy that says I'm putting him to sleep.
Maybe this guy is going to say something nice.
Yeah, let's see what this guy says.
Johnny Gills
from Queens.
What's going on? Hey, Rich, I've listened to you, I've laughed, I've cried, we've been through times, but you're a snooze fest without Bonnie breaking your balls. I hate to say it.
I'm not going to do it anymore because Rich has asked me not to.
I'm a snooze fest. I you know what? 32 years in the business.
Maybe you're a snooze fest, Johnny Gills.
Make you old.
From Queens.
Yeah, what have you done?
Guess what I think you're doing? Reading off a piece of paper.
Huh?
Your list of things that you and Rich have done together.
I'm writing this down. I'm writing this down, Bonnie, so I can read it. I'm writing it down.
What do you do for a living?
Is there a way to get that dick in the ass guy back?
No, he hung up right away.
Hey, Gills, what do you do? Hold on. What do you do?
I'm an occupational therapist.
Oh, really? So, hey, look at this. Take the little ball and they're the worst.
People say that when I go. Shut up for a second, Johnny.
Joke.
Shut your mouth.
No, I'm not trying to make a joke. I'm just saying it's really a stupid.
I would like to find out actually.
Bravo!
Johnny.
Yes, ma'am.
I will hang up on you.
No, don't hang up on him.
For a second.
He's anger. He's got a lot of anger, this man.
I would.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
Could I? People always, say that they're an occupational therapist when I'm talking to them in the audience, and I don't know really what it is.
Oh, I thought he said physical. Go ahead.
I would love to tell you.
Thank you.
For instance, like senile people with carpal tunnel who have, their knuckles popping out in their face.
I thought he said physical therapist. I didn't even hear him. A lot of you know what's funny when people call and yell at you and they go, "No, I love you guys." Well, how do you treat people you don't like?
Yeah.
How do you,
right?
How is our fan base so mean? Can we get a nice caller?
Because I do. Look, I'm not that big into people that are calling like, hey, you guys are fantastic.
No, I
just
don't-
wanted to say hi. I don't get it really
No.
how that's entertaining to anyone else.
No, but we want someone interesting to call
But if
that
somebody
maybe
were
can
had
add something.
something to add, maybe a magician, and maybe somebody has an actual question that they want to ask Harrison
Can you
about.
not- or maybe David Blaine will call. I would love that.
David Blaine.
That would be his own magic
He'll
trick.
call, and guess what?
What?
He won't use a telephone. It'll just magically appear in the ether.
Yeah, Kate, our producer, can you get David Blaine on the phone? Yeah.
Oh yeah, look at him.
Yeah.
He doesn't know who David Blaine is.
We got the worst crew here. Look at our.
There's gonna be some fucking dude that's like, "This is Blaine David. You wanted me to call."
Look at he's back there writing fucking notes, or I don't know what he does. I don't know.
I see a lot of papers.
He's filling out applications for better jobs.
That's
is
true,
what
yeah.
he's doing.
That guy walked by, looked like David Blaine.
Look, we're going to talk a little more with Mr. Greenbaum, and then we're going to save people's lives tonight. If you have a relationship problem,
A drug problem.
I don't like the drug
I
problem.
do.
ones.
I like helping people with drug problems. Maybe that's what I like doing.
You know what the problem I have with the people with the drug problems? They always call and they're like, I need help or whatever. And you're like, well, you should go to rehab. I don't know if I do need rehab. They're always like,
They're in denial. They
won't
just don't
do
know.
it. Well,
If you're
but-
at the point that you're calling a radio show, you probably need rehab.
Yeah, you need something.
this radio show
Yeah.
of all the like, I'm sure there's like a Dr. Phil or something on one of the channels here
That you could call.
Sirius that you could call. But they don't want that tough kind of fucking love.
So the first club you started working in New York was Caroline's.
That was
But
my
did
first
you
big
start
club. Yeah.
as a magician?
I did magic when I was in high school, and then when I got into college, I started doing sort of a mix, and I was hanging out at a comedy club a bunch, and I was like, this seems more fun, and then kind of shifted gears into stand-up.
Oh, but why didn't you think like, oh, I could be a really funny magician? How come those two don't mix very
Yeah,
often?
they do.
They don't mix well in the sense that I think the
You
rules
don't
that...
see a lot of really funny magicians. I don't know.
And the
Can
ones
you-
that are sort of funny are ones doing sort of... A lot of them are doing
Amazing
stolen stuff or
Jonathan.
or
stock stuff.
ironic.
No, Amazing
comedy.
Jonathan
Oh,
was
Amazing
funny.
Jonathan's amazing. Matt King.
Matt King
Derek
is
Hughes.
more funny for kids.
He's a cleaner show, absolutely.
He's cleaner. I took my kids to see him. I worked with him. I know Matt.
Yeah, he's
but I
great.
took my kids to see him too when they were this big in Vegas.
But he's a guy who started in the comedy club circuit.
When
Yeah.
Rich is saying this big, he's pointing about 3.5 feet off the ground.
But Amazing Jonathan, who was
Unbelievable.
now, when I don't know if it was Fox, whatever network came out with "Let's Bust Magic Tricks"
Yeah.
and show people. How furious were fucking guys at work and make a living out of that, and they're coming up there and saying, "Well, this is how they do the trick." That's as scummy as anything you possibly could do.
I think it hurt some people. I mean, I think it hurt the bad magicians more than the good magicians. Most of the tricks they revealed were sort of standard stuff that I think anybody, and nowadays with the internet, it doesn't even, that kind of special doesn't even matter. You can Google anything at this point. But some of the explanations too were wrong, which was kind of funny. So like they had this great explanation of how you levitate a lady, and they showed you how to do it with a forklift. So like my friend does it in a show, so people were like, "Where's the forklift?" They think he like brings in a forklift to do his shows, so it makes him look amazing, like he has the
Right,
money
right.
and time to transport a forklift wherever he goes.
How do
So
you
some of the
levitate?
methods were not accurate.
But levitation, when they do the fucking ring around
Yeah.
them and everything, that's pretty amazing.
Well, the other night we saw that guy at that outdoor festival.
Yeah.
God, what was his name? I forgot his name again.
Jason Bishop.
Jason Bishop, thank you. He did it, and there's no back wall.
Right,
So
exactly.
he's doing this. I thought that was pretty amazing.
I didn't see him levitate.
He did levitate someone.
I wasn't there. You saw that?
Yeah, and he also put somebody into a tiny. He just made someone disappear
In a
Put someone
tiny
into
box?
A tiny box.
In
He's
your
a
pussy?
metamorphosis, too.
What do you mean? He put somebody in your pussy or in a
In my pussy, I later. I didn't even know what happened. I went into the porta potty and I was like, "Whoa! I didn't know you were in there."
she has a tiny box, and
Yeah. Thank you for explaining a joke.
A lot of people don't get my humor. I
It's
mean,
humor.
okay. Well, we're getting a lot of calls.
We're getting a lot of relationship calls. 'Cause
Relationship, it's
people
good.
need their lives. But anyway, without a back wall, don't you think that's hard? That must be hard.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've helped.
People
I've
can
helped the-
seeing from 360.
I've done my first time I really ever premiered my one-man magic and comedy show was at UCB, where the sight lines it's that C shape.
Yeah.
So they basically can see behind you. So we had to design the whole show that if you could see the back view, it wasn't giving away any of the tricks, which was a challenge that really only affected about 8 people, but making sure those people had as good a show as the people in the
front. Well, it must be hard for magicians now because you know so much about how it works. Like, I think everybody's seen something about, how the thing works.
He just said that on the internet, on Google. He just said that.
Who?
Harrison.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't listening.
Although the new thing now is you flood the market with fake explanations. So like if you release a trick, so a lot of people sell magic tricks and they'll purposely release a ton of videos of like 12-year-old or just people explaining quote unquote the trick, giving the wrong explanation. So when you go to Google the trick, you get like 12 different versions of that trick, none of them being how it's actually accomplished.
I know, but you're still staring now.
Staring really close.
Like to try to figure it out. Like it's not, just wow, well, you're looking behind the curtains.
Are Penn and Teller well respected?
Oh yeah, they're amazing.
Because when we saw them in Vegas, we thought it was kind of
fantastic.
Didn't
you think they were great?
I thought it was okay, but why can't I say I thought it was more of a Vegas, almost a kids type show between a kids show and an adult. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I think. If it wasn't Vegas, if I saw them like when they were in New York, it would be more of an adult type. You know what I mean? They caught the bullet in the tooth. They caught the
great trick.
Huh?
That's a great trick.
I know how they do it.
I saw it on Ed Sullivan a million years ago.
Right. Well, that's the problem with one of the reasons I was attracted to comedy over magic is comedy. You have to write your own jokes, and if you don't, people will catch you and beat the shit out of you, which is how it should be. In magic, it's the people are constantly stealing, and nobody really gets in trouble for it. It's not as the art is just much more. I feel like stand-ups are much more artists than magicians are in general.
You take somebody like that, the magician we talked about earlier, Kevin James, who's world famous magician, who writes tricks and sells them to other magic acts, and has a lot of his stuff stolen. His stuff. I saw him with do a cannonball thing. That was amazing. Shooting a cannonball through a stomach. I don't remember what it was, but it was fucking amazing. I've never seen this trick. You see someone catch a bullet in their teeth.
Yeah, comedians always know that you can write new jokes. There's always new jokes to be written. Yeah. Magicians tend to act like all the tricks that have been invented.
No, but they can't.
And then somebody like Kevin comes along and you go, oh, that's totally new. Nobody's ever done anything like it.
Well, but see, here's the thing. If you see a guy, like I said before, on Ed Sullivan 30 years, 40, 50 years ago, catch a bullet in his mouth, right, in his teeth. Then you see someone do it now, you're going, well, that's not a magic trick because it's been done for 50 years.
Well, you still have to perfect. The thing about magic is that you still have to perfect the thing. You still have to,
And the bullet catch dates back even further. I mean, there's a book called 13 Have Died, and it's about the 13 magicians who died doing that trick.
Oh, really? People have died? The funniest
one, I mean, not that they're funny, but the funniest one is this guy was basically touring the Wild West. I mean, like frontier towns, doing the bullet catch. And some guy stood up and goes, catch this, and just shot him in the face.
Aww.
Because it was a real gun. So that magician died.
That seems like that could happen now. That doesn't sound that okay.
If you're performing at colleges,
let's do this. Let's take a couple of these calls.
Let's help
before
people.
The break. Let's help some people. Harrison is single, dating,
trying.
Okay,
you do well.
I do okay. Yeah, I just got out of a relationship with a Rockette, so we're near where she works.
An original Rockette.
Well, not from the 40s.
Oh, okay.
I think your name is
I'm dating Mary Tyler
Malachi, but close enough, Miss Lady. How you guys doing?
Malachi, good. How are you? I think that I'm positive they've spelled that wrong because
So we gave you advice. We gave you advice on something that was going on in your relationship.
Wait, Malachi, my producer wants me to ask you how you spell your name.
Malachi.
Okay,
nailed it.
All right. That's not how I've ever seen it.
I had a little bit of practice. But yeah, you guys gave me some advice.
Okay, so what's up?
Some weeks back, you gave me some advice. I had just bought the missus one of those little Polaris slingshots. She's being a real bitch about things. And it was jokingly, but you gave me some advice, and I followed through.
What did we give you for advice?
Well, you said that there's a certain amount of bullshit you can deal with from your other half.
Right.
And when it goes past that, it's not right, basically.
Right.
And I was way past it, and you guys were right, and I appreciate it. You saved me a whole lot of money, and I want to thank you for that.
This call.
Oh, so you broke up with the girl?
Yeah, I sent her back home. You know what I mean? It was...
You sent her back home, like to Russia? What happened?
Egypt.
To where?
Yeah. Egypt.
You sent her back to Egypt?
Yeah, well, when he's done, he's done.
Wow. She's not even from Egypt. She's from New Jersey, but he said, get on the fucking plane.
What? Here we go.
You're going to some pyramids.
Well, she's much happier, or so I read. But
well, you solved a relationship and an international murder.
That's nice.
Absolutely.
So,
and Harrison, I started with sleight of hand, and it got me into marking pickpocketers, and it helped me start my security company.
All right. That's awesome.
I always like to hear that a magician, current or former, is branching out into other things because it can be very lucrative. So keep up with the good work, and I look forward to seeing some of your stuff, man.
I'm glad things worked out with you, man. Thanks for calling.
Thanks, Malachi.
All right. I wish I could send Bonnie back to... I think I could send Bonnie back to Egypt. I don't know how he did that.
It's probably, I don't know.
I think she left them.
Do you ever pickpocket anybody?
I have not. We in Magic Camp sometimes we practice. So like we rather do a body load, which is the opposite, where you put something in somebody's pocket, because that you can achieve more with that. Where you're just like, by the way, look in your pocket. I'm like, holy shit. But I didn't do a watch steal.
I had the fake thumb, and I used to do the handkerchief in here.
Ooh.
And I was a big hit at the parties.
As my friend Mike Ben says, go to a bris and just throw that in the air at the right time.
Greg, DC, go ahead.
Hi, Bonnie. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Why do I have no idea when I talk about magic? I'm asking questions.
Why don't you? People don't know you're reading off the thing.
Up,
you shut your fucking... Wait. Hold on. Wait. Listen to me, you motherfucker. You don't call my show.
I date single moms.
Listen to me, you cunt. You don't call and tell me to shut up on my show. You say, excuse me, I have something to say. Now go ahead, fuckface.
Shut up yet.
Fuck your face.
I said it. If you want me to say it out loud, I will.
Go ahead.
Rich, first of all, love you. Love the show.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm calling because you said that somebody did a magic trick 50 years ago catching a bullet. Somebody doing it now means it's not a new trick. That means your entire act is hack.
Hey,
no, that's
whoa.
No.
Up, Greg. Back it up.
What I'm saying is that Rich is doing new takes.
No, he's not. No, he's not. Rich is an original.
I talk about my life. I talk about me. So how?
And so do other people. They talk about themselves.
Yeah,
they
but
talk about themselves forever.
Yeah, but
They're
that's
not firing the same bullet from the same gun at the same person. You're not talking about the same life of the same person.
No, you're comparing apples to oranges. It's totally wrong. Because you know what? Somebody can learn how to do that magic trick. Somebody can learn how to catch a bullet.
And
but no one
learned how to be a comedian.
No, you can't learn. You can't really learn. It only comes from experience, and you can't. No one can really teach you to be funny. You can't. But you could be taught. You could be taught how to play guitar. You could be taught how to, make an ace of spades disappear. But you really can't be taught how to be funny.
But no, not everybody can be taught how to be a magician. Not everybody can.
I could chime in and just say from the. Well, first of all, some of Rich's jokes weren't Ed Sullivan, but I think they said darky. But there's, in magic particularly, there are some people who are doing tricks that are 50 years old. They're just doing them exactly the same as they were done 50, 100 years ago. Those people generally aren't pushing the art much forward. But in the case of the bullet catch, I do think Penn and Teller's is significantly different. But to Richard's point, there are a lot of magicians who are doing tricks that are 50 years old and haven't changed them at all.
Okay, now if that was Rich's point, then Rich is not stupid.
Yes, that was my point.
I owe Rich an apology.
Yes, that was my point.
Wasn't said.
Can we hear your apology, Greg?
Yes. Bonnie, I'm sorry you married Rich.
Thank you.
I like Greg.
141 IQ, my new CD.
Yeah. Okay, listen. Relationship advice, or if you want to talk magic, or if you want to talk comedy, or whatever you want. It's 866-969-1969.
And don't forget, this weekend in Atlanta, you got to come to the Red Clay Comedy Festival. We're doing our live podcast on Friday, the Nasty Show on Saturday.
But there's lots of really great comedians there.
Some guy shooting an hour special there on Thursday.
Who is it? You
Look it
didn't
up.
tell me.
Look at producer at the Red Clay Comedy Festival on Thursday. Who is shooting their hour special there?
Walker, go ahead.
Hey, Rich, Bonnie, how's it going?
What's going on?
Not too much. Hey, Harrison had a really good line that went unnoticed. So talking about catching the bullet in the face, and he said, the guy got shot and killed because it was in the Old West. And then he went on to say, it'd be like a lot like performing at a college.
A lot like what?
Yes, thank you for picking up on that. I said, yeah, that would happen nowadays if you perform at a college.
Oh.
Because of all the college shootings.
Yes. Well, I didn't hear the line, but now that I've heard it, I'm offended. And thank you, Harrison, for being here. But we gotta go. No, you're right. Thank you. Anytime anybody says something that other people don't hear on the show, I think you should call in 866-969-1969.
And let us know what we didn't hear.
Let us know what we've missed.
This is how jaded we're getting from college shootings. Like, it's so fucked up now. This country, what happened in Oregon.
It's empathy fatigue. We're tired of feeling.
I mean, Harry Potter was attacked every single year he went to Hogwarts, and he was still safer than if he was at an American college.
Yeah.
Okay. But here's
well, for a woman going to college might be the most dangerous thing on the planet.
Yeah, you have guns and dicks to worry about.
Yes, they're being raped constantly, and they might get shot also.
Did you see at Texas though their response? So I did a show, and literally this woman came up to me afterwards. She'd seen me before. She came back, and she's the dean, I think, of University of Texas, where they have open carry for college students. So college students are allowed to have weapons on them at all times,
but
and they are.
But they can't rent a car,
right? So she's obviously there are a lot of students who are terrified because now there's just tons of students with guns walking around. And so in response, a lot of the female students are carrying dildos, and
I saw that.
So open carry basically for dicks. Now
Rich
now
is
people
very
are upset.
literal, so he doesn't understand why they would do that.
I get it.
You do?
I'm just thinking about what kind of school lets all their students. I don't know why these schools don't have armed guards.
Well, it's not the schools; it's the Texas. I mean, the school can't do anything.
Colleges don't hire ex-vets or whatever to patrol the campus, or you know what I mean, or even metal detectors in these doors. And I don't know what it's going to cost to prevent these tragedies. The one that happened in Oregon was then one happened in Arizona. You're going one person was killed. You go. 10 last week. You know what I mean? Right. So you're sitting here, you're so jaded, and you're so depressed and upset about these things. You go, what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be funny about it. I'm just saying it's getting out of control. And your Bonnie was right. You're so fucking jaded after hearing it. So how are they not coming up with any solutions to stop this?
Yeah, and they keep adding loopholes. I mean, I have a joke in my act about it, but Texas and Michigan, you can get a hunting license if you're blind. Why was that worth legislative time to make sure blind people have the right to shoot things?
Why shouldn't blind people be able to go hunting?
That's funny. You got to feel the face of the animal first.
Well, I said give them guns, but just put blanks in there. Don't give them bullets. They don't know.
It's fun.
Just tell them they're hitting shit.
Go ahead,
Rob from Nevada.
What am I pronouncing wrong?
I'm so starstruck. I get to talk to Bonnie. I just want to say something I've always wanted to say to you. I've heard your comedy. I love your comedy. But oh my God, you're an idiot.
So's your mother. So's your mother for not aborting you. Go ahead.
Oregon, not Oregon.
Oh, big deal. Who gives a fuck? No one gives a fuck.
Hey,
Oregon.
I do. Oregon. I do.
No,
one more.
You live in Nevada. Why do you care? You live in Nevada.
See, you can't even pronounce Nevada right.
Oh, I said Nevada. I was the one who pronounced it wrong.
Hey, know what I can say right? Go fuck yourself. How about that? Did I say that right?
I will say this. If your state's name is mispronounced, that means nobody gives a shit about you. Your state is so shitty.
Yeah.
The fact that people even know it, that don't know it's Oregon.
But listen.
That's not Oregon, honestly.
No, wait, hold on, Rob, before you hang up.
I was going to hang up.
Oh, you have, like, you calling into a national radio show. Don't you have anything you want to, don't you have anything
Drive time in Los
anything
Angeles.
positive you want to put out there? Or in
Yes,
the
I
pit?
do. Actually, today is my anniversary. I've been married for 7 years. Thank you very much.
Okay, see, now,
good,
wouldn't that,
good. Wouldn't that be a nicer way to start
Yeah,
with this,
like-
Rob?
Huh? Rob,
Who's
don't you
the
think
lucky guy?
putting out a little positive energy might just make this world a little better? Or calling in and go, you didn't say Oregon right. Who gives a fuck?
Rich,
What?
Rich, I still don't like you.
That's okay.
I love
What
your
What
comedy,
did you
though.
get your wife for your anniversary?
AIDS.
She got me a one-way ticket to Oregon.
Oh, boy. Ugh, I really hope.
I was trying to really get real, Rob, but if you don't want to, that's
No,
up to you.
she's not
That's
real.
on you.
He lives in Nevada. Is that right?
Nevada.
Nevada.
What part of
Stay with
Nevada?
me, Rich. Nevada. I live in Fernley.
And where?
Fernley.
No one's heard of it.
Is it near Reno or Vegas?
Right outside of Reno, about 30 miles outside of Reno.
Oh, God. If you have to locate your town by telling us you're near another, even sadder town.
Isn't that fucked up? Reno is depressing.
Reno is so sad.
It's fucking depressing.
Oh, my God.
When are you gonna come to? Hey, Rich, when are you gonna come to?
He just called him you by his own name.
Yeah.
He just yelled, "Hey, Rob!"
I know, and I'm the stupid one. When am I going to come?
Oh,
What?
man.
When am I going to come? What? On your wife's back again? I don't know.
Yeah, would you please? She'll enjoy it. She loves that shit.
When am I going to come? Where?
I always say you can come in a girl's back, but you can't come in a condom and then dump it on her back. That's not allowed. That's the difference between peeing in a pool and like standing on the outside and peeing into a pool.
When will you arrive in Reno?
I don't know. Like I used to work Reno all the time when they used to have an improv there at Harris or something. But I think a Laugh Factory opened there.
There's a Catch there. Catch Rising Star.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, but they don't. I think there's a Laugh Factory. I might be working there at some point.
Listen, Rob, can you hold for a second? There. We're going to take a break,
Okay.
and we're going to come back.
This Friday, Saturday, Atlanta. Come out. The following weekend, I'll be in Cuyahoga Falls at Funny Stop. Do you have anything on the road coming up?
This Wednesday, October 21st, I'm headlining Caroline's. So check it out. It's 8
That's
o'clock.
fucking cool.
Wednesday, October 21st. And if you just do my name, Harrison, that's the promo code. It's like, I think 50% off. So
Do you go on the road at all, or do you stay mainly in New York?
trying to get on the road more, but
Yeah.
it's been mostly New York based.
Cool.
Yeah.
Go see him. I've never seen him fail. I'm not
Wednesday,
lying.
I'm in Calgary. Tomorrow,
That's at what festival is that called? again?
YY Comedy Festival.
I saw the theater you're working. That looks
Yeah,
cool.
but I forgot now the name of the theater.
That looks. What?
It's tomorrow night at 7 in Calgary.
And if you get
So
there,
look it up, Google it,
Just
and
don't order
go.
the Mexican.
Go.
All right.
It'll be fun.
And come see us. Bye. We're taking a break. We'll be back. We're gonna go get coffee.
We will be back.
We're fucking gonna be back. We are back, folks. Give us a call, 866-969-1969. That's 866-969-1969. Listen, I want to apologize, especially if one of my good therapist friends are listening, for my outbursts of cursing and saying nasty, vile things. But it wouldn't hurt for us to get a call with just a positive, some add to this, add to the radio show. Bonnie and I do a podcast every week. We do a radio show every week. Sometimes we just run out of fucking things to talk about. So maybe that's why we take calls. So maybe you could add something positive. Hey, guess what happened to me today? Or guess this, or guess that, or I saw this person, or I saw that movie, or anything positive. Okay? Because we can't every week do a podcast, do this, and not have anybody contribute anything to these calls. You know, when Jenny, our therapist, calls, or our therapist from Denver, they add to the show. Even Lady
Where
Truckers.
is our caller from Denver?
Even I think he's upset that we're using another therapist, but he's
But
also.
she's not giving us, you know what I mean? Like, what we need is somebody who's going to give us actual free therapy. That's what we're looking for. A therapist who's like, I'll fix any of your relationships out there. I'm good at it. But we need someone to weigh in on us.
Well, I just apologize for my outbursts and my cursing and saying
Why?
Because it was not a way to handle it. I'm going down to their level. I'm coming down to their level.
It's the funniest thing you did on the whole show.
No, it wasn't funny. It was an easy way out. I wasn't clever. I just said your mother should have aborted you. That's not clever. That's mean. And I'm not a mean person. I'm a nice person.
No.
No what?
I told Rich this the other day. He said, I'm going to start being nicer. He wants to change his reputation. I said, your reputation's already done.
Do you remember the first time you ever met me?
I probably told you to get me coffee.
No, the first time I ever met you, not that you met, I was still just a comedy fan. I was like in college, I think, or high school. And it was the, Opie and Anthony tour when it was at Jones Beach.
Yeah.
It was like Patrice, you were on it, Norton, Louie.
Yeah.
And there was like an autograph thing you could go to after the show. And it's just a line of all you guys. And I still have it. I got to find it because I could text you a picture of it. Oh. And the first thing I've ever heard from Rich was he just goes, "What are you smiling at, faggot?"
I didn't say that.
Yeah. I was just like, oh no. And then you signed my thing.
Well, back then you were allowed to say that.
No, it was hilarious. But that was the first thing you ever said to me.
But you were allowed to say fag back then.
We used to call our friends fags all the time. You'd be like, answer the phone like, "Hey, fag, what's up?" And now you can't. One day I said to Raina, I said, "Let's go, fag." And then I was like, "Oh, that doesn't seem right."
Seems weird to say that to your daughter.
Don't say it to your daughter.
Well, I didn't know that was offensive until who's the gay comic that we use in our movie? He moved to L.A.
I thought you were going to be like, so who's that faggot?
No.
Fuck.
The gay comic.
Todd Glass?
No, that used to work at the stand.
Oh, yeah.
What's his name?
Thomas Dale?
Yes, yeah. Thomas Dale.
Well, he said that's offensive. I swear to God, I didn't know. Maybe 3 years ago, I didn't know if you said fag that people were offended by it. For maybe I live under a rock.
You really didn't know that?
I swear to God, I didn't think, because I always heard gay guys call each other fags and stuff, right?
Oh, so you're like, I'm gay, even closeted.
Well, it's like black people in the N-word.
Yeah, but okay, here's the thing. So he said that's very offensive. But that night he was on stage going, retard this, retard that, retard this.
Right, not to say that one.
Well, I go, well, you know what? You're quite the hypocrite. And I pointed out to him, I go, well, that's just as offensive as saying fag. Maybe you're right, and then he blew me and I threw him out of the car.
Well, the thing about saying that we're retarded is they probably don't know.
They do.
No, they do know, right?
Yes. My sister is mentally handicaed.
One of my favorite jokes of yours.
You helped me with that bit because I told you the story and you said you should do that on stage.
I was setting it up.
Oh, which you do. Which I do it on stage, and it took a while for but it works really well now.
Oh, good. It's a great joke. It's so good.
Go to Ryan in Alberta. I think
we just blue-balled the audience. We're like, Bonnie has this great joke, but you won't hear it.
You won't hear it unless you come to the Calgary Festival. Cool. Ryan.
I'm almost en route. I'm going to Bowden to Calgary.
Where's that?
Just north of Calgary there.
Oh, are you going to go to the festival tomorrow night?
I don't know what the festival is, but hopefully I can get tickets for it. But
I don't know what it is either, but it's, it's a theater. It's called the YY Comedy Festival.
The YY Comedy Festival. Okay, and you're only there tomorrow night or what?
I'm just there one night, but I looked on the website and there's a ton of really good comedians for real that are going to be there.
Who?
I can't remember their names.
Is it all week?
But I could look it up.
Is it all week long?
It's all week, I think, but I want everyone just to come on Wednesday.
Did our producer find out who's shooting the Hour special in Atlanta?
I believe it's Andy Sanford.
Andy Sanford.
Andy Sanford.
Oh, I think he's from Atlanta.
Do we know him?
Yeah, he's shooting.
He's one of the beards of comedy.
What?
The beards of comedy.
What's a beard?
Oh, Rich, you could be on that.
You have
tour.
A beard.
The Beards of Comedy.
Is that date? There's really a tour?
It was 3 comics in Atlanta. They all had beards, so they call themselves the Beards of Comedy.
Oh.
And Andy's, I believe, one of them.
Is he funny?
Funny dude, yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's shooting an Hour Thursday night. Thank you for looking at it.
Wait, I didn't get to it. What do you want to talk about, Ryan?
I was wondering how many pilots you guys have shot, and if there's any way we can see those.
No, there's no way to see them, and we shot, I don't know, at least 6. There's no way to put like a documentary series where you guys kind of break them down or anything? Well, once we shoot them, we don't own them. That's like we put up one on our website once, and they made us take it down. The Comedy Central one.
Oh yeah, we didn't put up the whole pilot. We only put up some of it.
So you're not.
That was a good pilot.
That was a pretty funny pilot. So, I don't know.
Yeah, no, we shot about 4 or 5 of them, and plus webisodes. And
did you get to see like old pilots just break them down? You even just watch them. You know what I mean? Like
that would be a good documentary to take parts of your pilot and see what was right.
Re-edit it into a documentary, or be like, hey, this is
what was bad.
Then you could show. Then you could do hidden camera inside in meetings and stuff,
or just like a series where you get to show all the pilots, and if any of them hit on like a Netflix or whatever, you turn them into a series.
Yeah.
There you go, Harrison Greenbaum, our new agent.
Yes, thank you.
My Jew side is showing.
Yes. Okay, thanks, Ryan. I'll see you at that show tomorrow night.
This guy's coming to my show in Rochester. I want to talk to him. Thanks, man. Thanks, Ryan. Go to David in New York. I got to ask him something.
Is it number 6?
Yeah.
David?
What's up, guys?
What's up,
boss? Hey, man, I got to tell you, you know that club in Rochester? I go to all the comedians there, and you are my wife and I's favorite. You're the most funny. When you asked a black guy what his name was, he said Rob. Without missing a beat, you go, oh, so it's a verb and your name. We fell on the floor fucking laughing.
Thank you. Do you have any connections at Oak Hill? I mean, I could ask Brother Weiss. He could probably...
Let me ask you before you hang up on me. What night, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, do you do the most crowd work?
I usually do, if I'm going to do crowd work, I do it on the second show usually. The first one the first one I do mostly material.
Okay,
and
go to the late show.
Yeah, and then the second one I'll do more crowd work most likely on the second one.
I love a show that you do crowd work.
And I got to tell you, I don't golf. I'm with Vos and Bonnie. I'm a CrossFitter. I can hook you up with CrossFit, but I do a real sport. I don't golf.
Yeah.
You know what? It's not even Rochester. It's when I'm in Cuyahoga Falls. I want to get on Firestone, and I played Oak Hill before, and then I played another course.
I don't care. I'm hanging up on you. I don't care.
Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you for the
golf
compliment.
talk. Really, alienated him.
Yeah.
There's someone who saw us on Red Eye last night. Go ahead, Brian.
We were on fire last night.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Hi.
Hey. I caught your guys' Red Eye clip. I thought it was magnificent.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Did you watch the whole show or just our end clip?
Just your clip. Just your however many minute segment it was.
Well, we were on the whole show, by the way.
But thank you.
But they did a special thing with just us for some reason.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The one with just the two of you.
Yeah.
Have you done Red Eye yet?
I haven't yet. Now it's Shalou, who I love.
You got to do it.
Oh, you
so
can
fun.
easily do it.
I just gotta email him.
It's the most fun show to do, and the fans are so good. I never talk about anything I do like this, but I don't know why. It's so silly and fun, and you get to
And Shalou's great, and so was Greg too.
Greg was amazing. Shalou is fantastic. He's the best choice.
Like 5 or 6 years ago, I gave him. He asked me for my business card, which has my face on it. So he put it on his desk, and his daughter found it and basically made them put it on their mantle. So I think I still might be on his fireplace. His daughter literally threw a tantrum because he was like, "I'm not going to put it in the family photo." Right. And she was like, "No, it's got to go up there." And I don't know if I'm still up there, but I got to find out.
Did she go to your camp when you were a counselor?
No, Tom was literally like, it was just the funniest thing because you just saw the photo and was like, it belongs up there.
Oh,
yeah, you'd be good on the show because you're quick, and I mean, not that you have to because you prepare, but
what does this mean? I'm getting snipped in 2 weeks.
That's like a vasectomy, I think.
All right, all right, that's a good one. Nate, go ahead.
Hey guys, what's going on, you fags?
Hey. Are we allowed to say that if it's
You're the one who's about to get neutered, buddy.
We're not fags, we're kikes.
No, but listen. Can I just say this? If you're using it as a term of endearment, can you say it?
I love you guys, so that's kind of like an endearment.
Like that's what I used to say to my friends, like, yo, fag, what's up? Like just to people I loved, that was like a term of endearment.
I don't know. It doesn't seem to me. I think it's how you use it, like you say. I think it's the verb you use before it.
Like, hey, you fucking fag.
Oh, yeah.
Or the adjective.
It's probably bad.
That's not good.
I meant the adjective.
I love you.
You dirty fag.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you're right. Hey, but anyway, I'm getting snipped in a couple weeks. I'm super excited.
How old are you?
I'm 39. So
why do you? How many kids do you have?
A couple.
How many?
I'm sick of using condoms. I'm sick of it, man. I'm sick of it.
But how many kids you have?
I have a couple. 2.
So, I would never do that.
Are you getting the reversible kind or like the permanent kind?
Who cares? The permanent kind. I'm done, man. No more kids.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but see, I thought I was done, and then I met Bonnie, and I had another kid. Even when I was a little older, and I wouldn't trade my daughter in for the world.
I would not trade your daughter in for the world either. But I'm done having kids, man.
You don't know that.
Well, but here's the thing. Once you have a kid, of course, you're like, but before you have it, you can be like, I don't want any more.
Yeah, I mean, and
although I will say this, I wouldn't have married Rich if he could, if the kid thing was a deal breaker.
Are you married? Are you like in a relationship?
Yeah.
Oh.
How does she feel about it?
She feels the same way. I mean, it's awesome. I mean, we both.
I think people do it. My sister and her husband. I mean, they all got it done.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, when you get to my age, I'm sorry. I mean, you don't want to use a condom anymore. Give me a break.
Yes, I do. It holds me. It makes me last another minute.
That's 2 full minutes. That's that doubles the time.
It.
2, 1.5.
But I turn the condoms inside out, those ribbed ones, because that's my pleasure.
I've heard it. Why don't you have?
Why can't it was on the Ed Sullivan Show 50 years ago?
Can't your wife put one of those little trampolines inside of her? What are these? Those diaphragm.
Yeah, she can get a diaphragm, an IUD.
Yeah. An IUD. This way you could track her.
Have you guys ever used the female condom?
No, but they're comically. They're comical.
I've used them before.
They're so big.
They're insane. You can use the packaging as an overnight bag. They're wonderful. Yeah, they're.
Nobody wants to hear about your fucking condoms that you used to use. Nobody wants to hear that.
Well, I dated a guy who had a little bit of ED issue.
What's ED?
Erectile dysfunction.
Yeah, so we had to use the female condom because.
Oh God! Yeah,
Jesus Christ!
Come on.
What?
But how is that different? It's still a rubber thing in there.
I know, but it didn't like lock in on his penis, so it was. There's like an anchor that goes in.
How'd you get it in your ass?
Like, it's like a weighted.
No, come on. Are you serious?
No, it's not that romantic because you have to get a OBGYN to come in and put it in.
But, yeah, that's the thing. I don't need her or him coming in.
Yeah, but IUDs last 10 years.
That's so immature. Why would you put an IUD inside? I mean, I don't want to kill her. I just want to.
You're not gonna. Whoa! I don't think you're gonna kill her. I hope that's not.
The last 10 years.
It can. You can take it out, but.
No, an IUD. I mean, Jesus Christ.
An IUD. He's making a joke. It's like the weapon.
Oh, like one of those improvised explosives? IED?
I mean, I want to have sex, but I don't think I need to take it that far.
Are you a comedian?
Yeah, that's my other job. I play on TV. I did sleep at a Holiday Inn Express last night, so, anyway. So.
I was going to say.
Cut this guy loose. I don't give a fuck about his cock.
All right.
Go to Lady Trucker. Nobody cares about your cock. I hope they cut your tongue out, you fucking useless piece
Lady
of shit.
Trucker, you're on the air.
Good evening.
What's going on?
Good evening.
Hey, Rich, I was really impressed by how you got Cindy Portnay's name correct.
It's whatever the fuck.
Portier.
How do you say it? Do you know how to say it?
It's like a French.
Cindy Portier. There it is.
There you go. Boom.
What did I say? What did I say?
I don't know, but it was really wrong.
Isn't that song beautiful, though?
Yes, it's a great song. The movie is really slow, Bonnie, so, if you're ever having problems sleeping at night, just go ahead and put that movie on.
Okay. Well, you think that's a bad movie? You think To Sir With Love was a bad movie?
She said it's slow. She didn't say it was bad.
No, it's a good movie. It's just really slow.
Yeah, it was shot years ago. It's, but I mean...
Michael Bay can remake it with robots.
Probably.
I have a question for you, Bonnie.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Mattery mentioned on Anthony's Kumia show today that you guys had done a show up in a mental institution or a sane asylum.
Yes, that's right.
Can we hear about the horrors of that show?
It was pretty bad. Okay, well, first of all, I brought my daughter, which no one told me. First of all, I looked up online and I thought it was a mental institution that wasn't, it was just like a building that it
wasn't active.
Yes, thank you. It wasn't like a real thing, but it was a real thing. And when I brought my daughter in, they came rushing over and they're like, "Get her out!" out! Get her out! And I was like, calm down. I got scared. I went on the defensive. And then there's this whole big thing about how don't you dare charge my daughter. And she started crying. And they were like, it's for her own safety. Because obviously there's people in there that
are dangerous.
Shouldn't be around children, you know?
Right.
So then I had to get someone to go take Raina out. You know, and the grounds or
there's not like a padded room they could just kind of like
who
stick
watched
her?
Who did you get?
Actually, it was my mother was there visiting, and then
you brought your mother to the show too.
Yeah, I didn't know it was really in a mental institution. I didn't know that, and so then we went in and whatever. The show was very odd. I got proposed to 2 or 3 times during that show. I said,
because they didn't know you had a kid.
I said once yes.
It was one guy, just 4 different personalities.
No, they heard I had a kid. That's why they were proposing. No. So it was more like you're doing crowd work, but very gently.
I was in a mental institution. I was on the psychiatric ward. So, I mean, I would, you know, because back then when you had anxiety, when I had it, they didn't know what anxiety was 30-some years ago, so they just thought you were nuts, and they put you on Thorazine and Haldol, and you just did laps around the 5th floor.
Well, there was there was a guy who stood up and clapped quite often. It wasn't, I don't know. It was a weird. What did he say about it, Lady Trucker?
Oh, he had thought that you guys were working for the staff or something. He didn't know you were working for the do a show for the patient.
Yeah, we both, neither one of us had. And then I had to go on and get interviewed somehow or something.
By who?
One of the people who was there who just thought they were an interviewer.
Were you getting interviewed to change bedpans or something?
No, I think what happened was that Joe had this sort of idea that I got it now. There was a real doctor that he was going to sort of analyze you based on your act about what.
Oh yeah, he mentioned that
your problems were. So then you went on, but it was too awkward to analyze someone and kind of make fun of in front of
people with actual issues.
So he would just be like, you know, he would just ask you did you always think you were funny? You know, really stupid questions about you. Didn't get analyzed at all, which was the only reason I did it, because I thought I wanted to be analyzed.
I'll do it.
Will you?
Cunt.
Come on. I mean, there's got to be more there than that.
Spoiled. No, I could analyze you. You're your creative mind is so, you're always creating. You're so creative that common sense slips away because you're in such a creative mode all the time that like you're always thinking on how to get ahead. You know, with your creativity, I'm not like trying to get ahead in the business.
No,
not in the business. I mean, how you're going to come up with the next idea,
right? How
you're going to come up with the next movie. So you're so creative that you're almost crazy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that's a compliment.
I think, Bonnie, you're creative just because you want to escape the horrors of the dirt floor childhood you had.
Lady Trucker, yes.
She wants to escape what?
The dirt floor childhood that she had.
Oh, that. I thought you meant like it's like whenever I look at Rich, I just go to my safe place. Oh, I'm at a beach.
Why did I say the C word? You're not that at all. You're not that at all. I'm sorry I said that. Because you're not that kind of...
Wait, you're going to call me a cunt to my face and then later in the apology I'm sorry I used the C word. No, you'll say it again. You'll take it back with the same fucking
you're not
animosity that you brought it
because you're so far from that. It's unbelievable. You're unlikable, but you're not a cunt. I mean, I'm sorry about that. For real. Tonight's a bad night for me.
I don't know what's going on with him.
I feel like my positive energy is starting to
I just feel bad that I called you that.
Around.
The callers in the beginning of the show put me in a bad mood. I'm sorry.
And then you take it out on me.
I'm sorry. And I'm doing a 10th step right now. I'm admitting I'm wrong. And I'm sorry.
Lady Trucker, can you believe this? You've never heard anything like this before,
When
right?
I saw on the screen that it said Lady Trucker, I did not expect this kind of resolution at the end. I did not expect this incredible emotional moment.
She's a regular caller. She knows us better than anyone, probably.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I call lots of radio shows, call lots of podcasts.
Oh, don't say lots.
Whoa, no, we want to feel special.
Whoa.
She just said she was listening to Anthony today.
Oh, well, my name was brought up on another podcast. I like that.
My name was brought up this morning, too.
Oh,
Hey, have you guys haven't done Anthony Cumia show yet, have you?
Yeah,
I'm doing
I'm
it
there
in
on
a couple
Tuesday.
of weeks.
I've done it twice, and I'm going to go back November 3rd, I think it is.
Oh, are you going to go on there, Bonnie?
In a couple of weeks.
It's so hard.
Okay.
We're so busy. Like, I always try to set it up on a Tuesday so I could do his show and then come in and do ours.
Yeah.
So I set something up for, I think, November 3rd to do it. It's just, it's hard. When you live in Jersey, we live fucking an hour from New York, and just, it's so hard to set up plans and do radio shows and have a kid and do a, comedy.
That's why we're getting rid of our kid.
Whatever. We're not like
that plan to dump him in an insane asylum almost worked.
Yeah.
It hurt. Why did I say him?
Go to this guy who wants
All
to
right,
know.
thanks, Lady Trucker. Talk
See
to
you later.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Which one?
This guy, he's been on hold forever. Shane from Texas.
That's Shay.
Shay could be
There's-
lady.
Oh, wait, there's a Shay and a Shane.
Yeah, do Shane.
Let's get them both
No,
on.
he's been on longer.
Shay's been on the longest.
Shay's been on. Let's go, Shay.
Oh.
Shay, nobody follows a magician on stage. Okay, next caller.
I think I have.
I was going to tell you that every Tuesday my son has catechism, and I sit in my car in the parking lot, and I just love listening to you guys. So there's some positivity for you.
Thank you.
But,
and you're keeping people out of the church.
How do you like it that Rich and I aren't fighting this week?
I love it.
See,
I love it.
some people do
I
enjoy
just love hearing your voices, really.
Well, somebody needs to go to that insane
especially
asylum.
you, Bonnie.
Thank you.
I tried comedy one time, and this guy there was a guitar player on the stage, and he did people would shout things out, and he would mash the songs together. He was pretty awesome. And then the headliner, his name was Dan Davidson, and Dan Davidson tells me, "Hey, I don't like following magic acts. I don't like following the hypnotist. I don't want to follow this guy. Can you go up and do 5 minutes as a buffer?" And I was just wondering if you guys have gotten in that situation. What do you do after one of those acts that aren't comedy, to kind of get your set going?
Well, it is. I'll tell you, I just remembered this one time. Do you remember that time I was headlining at some weird club? It was in New Jersey, and
Prime time.
And on before me was a psychic, and he would have people come up to the stage.
Oh, shit.
And he would tell them what was going to happen to them for the next 5 or 10 years. And it was such a genius kind of bit, because
they didn't know.
They wouldn't be able to ask for their money back for 10 years.
Right. I actually, there's a new psychic show called Monica the Medium. It's on ABC Family, which is now becoming, I guess, Freeform is its new name. But they're all full of shit. All those people who claim to talk to the dead. They're all doing this thing called cold reading. But I started tweeting at her and I was just like, "You're full of shit. Here's a YouTube video of me doing it. It's not that hard." And then after 8 tweets, she blocked me. So my 9th tweet was, "If you're really a psychic, shouldn't you have blocked me before any of those tweets went out?"
I know this guy is going to be a problem.
You know what?
No, but the guy, I said to him, so he did 40 minutes, and he was supposed to just do, I think, 15 or 20. Yeah. And I said to him, when he came off, I was like, "You did too much time." And he goes, "When I get in the zone, there's, hey, I just got to go with it." And I was like, "Well, no, you don't." Because you're now, this is my show that you're on.
You're like, "It's so weird. Did you get the feeling that tomorrow you're going to be fired?"
Yes,
Did you get that feeling?
Do you know this is going to happen? But he was really mad at me, too. He acted like I was being such an asshole, like he's saving lives.
Did the girl stick up for him?
The girl goes, "Hey, leave him alone," the MC. And I was like, you both are fucking fired.
You know what? I follow so many different acts. It doesn't really matter anymore, because if you're a good enough comic, they'll latch into whatever you're doing. If someone's on stage doing backflips, then I sit down and I try to be as low energy as I possibly can.
You do the opposite, kind of, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not going to follow that energy with what? What am I going to do? Light myself on
Well,
fire?
I went out and I did a couple of readings exactly as he did, and I was like, "There's no difference of what I'm doing and what he's doing."
Yeah.
Like,
So yeah, the guy that you worked with that didn't want to follow the guitar act, tell him to go fuck himself next time. So you're the headliner. You follow who's in the middle.
Yeah, being a professional means being able to follow whatever comes before you.
Hey, listen, when you're doing showcase clubs in New York, you go on stage and all of a sudden fucking, Chappelle or Chris Rock stops in or fucking Louis and you got to go on after him. Then, you don't say, hey, can somebody do, you know what I mean? You go on.
You do it.
And back when I started comedy, I remember going on, George Wallace would come in and just fucking kill. And then I go up and fucking bomb. Hey, that's
Shane,
life.
Now we have Shane from Texas.
Okay, go ahead.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, I really love what you guys do, man. I love the group of friends you guys have, and I work for a shitty corporate place, and I always hear you guys talk about good comedy clubs. What distinguishes the good comedy clubs you guys talk about in relation to the other ones?
Well, one good example is a comedy club that doesn't do. They know that that's. What's amazing to me is that there's some comedy clubs that will try to not pay the comedians, and it's like, why would you have a thing where that's what you're selling? It'd be like having like a trying to get famous for sausages, but you're just hoping good sausages will come through the door. Do you know what I mean? It's like you would pay for the best sausages, or
sometimes it's a shitty sausage, but the sausage has been on television.
Yeah. But I mean, anyway, because like in New York, sometimes they don't pay the comedians, which I just think is so bizarre. You pay the wait staff, you pay everybody else, which is the least important thing. The most important thing is the comedian. But also, Rich worked at a club recently where it's like the show started late. They didn't take that into account, and then they started giving the checks out at the same time they give the checks out every time, which was just 10 minutes after he started. And it's like
15 minutes. I lost my mind on stage.
Oh God, I'd lose it too.
It's like you don't want the audience to be perceiving that the show is almost over. Or it's just little things like that
you know what else
give a shit about the kind of thing you're doing.
When the owner or the manager or someone comes up to you, which is very seldom, says, good show. They don't say that. Know what they say? We were late, or you could have sold some more. It's very seldom that a club owner will come up to you. There's a couple,
Remember that one club
Corey,
owner said to me, he goes, "You'll get good."
He said that?
Yes.
I did a place once, and I'm telling you, I had maybe 350 people, and the manager goes, there was still a couple empty tables. I go, really? And I fucking killed. When someone can compliment you, you'll get that more from, I don't know, someone who's been around the business longer. You get clubs that have managers that used to work Fridays, so what do you expect from them? They don't really know comedy. But when you work a club, like when I worked Helium once, Mark was there with his family, and I got off. He goes, damn, you did all new material since last time he saw me, which was 20 years earlier. But but you know what I mean? And or Corey up in Rhode Island will go, oh
he's great. At the Comedy Connection?
Yeah, he goes, he'll compliment you because he'll watch and know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's his one club, so he wants to see a good show.
I mean, the connecting tissue is that they like comedy.
Yes.
Some people open up comedy clubs and they don't like comedy or comedians. And it's like, then why even have this? Why enter this business if you don't love comedy and comedians?
I argued with a club in New York. He goes, I don't even like comedy.
Yeah,
Go
exactly.
ahead. Go ahead, Shane.
They're just profit motivated. They're not fans of comedy.
Yeah, and the other thing that and this is a generalization because some of them are great, but club owners who used to be comics, if they turn resentful, can be a very negative experience. Sometimes they're great because they know exactly what comedians need to have a good experience, so they can sometimes be the best owners. But sometimes the worst owners are the ones who think they can do better than you on stage, and even though they haven't done it in 30 years, they're still angry about it.
Right.
They fail.
What about the fitting? I hear you guys talk about low ceilings and kind of a more.
Oh yeah, you need a low ceiling.
I like it ceiling so low you have to lay down.
Wider rather than longer.
Darker, a little uncomfortable.
I don't like it. I like to see
Dirty.
the crowd. And and
seats pushed together.
Yes, tight.
It all depends. The vibe. You could take anywhere you go, pretty much, if you're a good comedian, and make it your own vibe.
You know what else helps so much in I think clubs forget this because they always, not always, but a lot of times the MC is a newer comedian. And I just think like when they have a good MC, it makes such a fucking huge difference to the whole show. The other night I did a show where the MC, it wasn't like he was terrible, but he was so dirty that anybody else who got on after him had to work for 5 minutes in their set to try to get the audience into like listening to
on
just
the road,
like regular comedy.
On the road, they're not going to use an MC that's that dirty.
I have.
On the road?
Oh, God, yes.
I've also had a feature that just did all crowd work, which is like such a big no-no, but he didn't know that that's not the right way to do it.
Yeah, I don't like that because if I want to do crowd work, because I'm going to do it better, I know anyhow.
Right, well,
and
that's
he's
the
going to
whole
go
point.
up and ruin it. He's going to do bad crowd work.
Yeah, I like an MC that does.
An MC can do a little crowd work.
A little bit, but I like him to start doing jokes, and then if the middle act does, I don't care how funny he is if he's doing jokes.
Yeah.
Because it gets the audience into like, oh, this is what it is.
And you're only doing 20 or 30, so if you can't just do straight material for 20 or 30, then don't feature.
Well, I have them. They're only allowed before me 30 minutes, 10 and 20. That's all.
That's good.
I say, and like I love like Adrian to open for me. She does material.
It's all material, yeah.
It's clever.
Can you say her last name for it?
Iapalucci?
Yeah. Her material's clever. No.
Poitier?
It's clever. It's clever and it's a little dark. You know what I mean? So I love an act like that that's just doing straight material. I don't want to follow backflips. I will, and I'll have no problem with it. But also, two clubs on the road nowadays can't afford to fly in middle acts or MCs. You know, back in the day, I'd go on the road and all three comics were from out of town. Where you know what I mean?
Or you could bring your own feature.
You know, but so now
Thanks, Shane.
Yeah,
Thanks.
in every town there's 400 middle acts that they could choose from.
We got
you know
Sydney from L.A.
Oh, hey, guys.
Hi.
It's Sidney Poitier. Thanks for fucking my name up, Rich. It actually sounds better coming out of here. It actually sounds better the way you say it.
No problem.
Courtney?
Hey, I just wanted to say I love the show. I listen all the time in Los Angeles.
Thank you.
Drive time.
It is. I liked Harrison, too. I thought he got kind of a bum rap on Last Comic Standing. I don't think he really needed it. Yeah, I don't think Norm Macdonald needed to go there. But, those shows are edited, and I'm pretty sure you know more than I do. But
we do.
I thought, he had great stage presence. The whole thing was good. I don't know why you have to...
You should go see him live if you ever get a chance because he's really puts on a great show and he's very, very funny.
Oh, thank you. And yeah, there definitely was edited, but a lot of the people that night felt like Norm was being very weird, and they didn't show at all my second set where Norm was actually even weirder. But yeah, him going after the religion stuff was very odd.
He was odd with certain people. He was just like he was the greatest host just because you didn't know, or a judge because you didn't know what he was going to do. Everyone else would be like, fantastic, so great. I didn't care for it. Like, it was so weird.
Maybe he would have been a better host if he met Sidney Poitier.
Yes.
Hey,
right.
go to this therapist. Thanks for the call.
Sydney.
Thank you so much, man.
Poitier.
I don't know his name. It was ages ago. Go ahead. You're from Minnesota?
He's on the air.
Jason from Minnesota. I was just in Minnesota, Jason.
Yeah, I know. I opted to not go to your show for the question that I was going to just ask you.
What?
Okay.
Does it affect your guys' sets the way a comedy club seats the audience at all? Because the reason I asked that is because at New Hope, I was really disappointed the way... I know how some comedy clubs, though, it's dependent on where you're at in line as to how close they'll seat you. And I've been up close or early on in the line and got seated once way in the back, even requesting to sit up front. And I'm somebody that doesn't heckle, and I'm willing to get the shit kicked out of me by a comic. I don't care. but it just kind of really turned me off from.
I wonder why they would do that. I
Yeah.
mean, when I first got into the business, I was hostess at a comedy club, and we really just sat people as close to the stage as we could, according to where they were in line.
I don't know how that place runs it. Maybe some are reserved. I don't think they are, and I have no.
When I saw you last year when you played there, I was sitting off to the side stage,
and
it was fine. But I saw both of you at Acme quite a few years back.
Yeah.
And I've seen you, Rich, at House of Comedy a few times. And Acme's a great club, and I know talking to the comics, you guys love it because it's small and intimate. It's got the low ceiling. But as a fan, I love House of Comedy, but that's got such a high fucking ceiling.
I mean, is it possible sometimes if somebody really, really wants to sit in the front, they don't put them there because that's sometimes a warning sign? If somebody's like dying to sit in the front,
Well,
that's somebody
look,
who might,
I've never,
even though you're not the case, but sometimes those people are hecklers.
I don't know that a comedy club thinks like that because they always put like a bachelorette party
True.
in the front. You're
It's
like,
the
they put
fucking
the
worst.
worst fucking people in the front sometimes. So I
In
can't.
New Jersey, I had a guy with a Santa hat, and they put him front
Yeah,
center, and I was like,
yeah.
"Really?" It was like August. It wasn't even close to Christmas time.
I had a guy with no head, and right in the front
Oh
row.
my gosh!
Well, listen, next time I work Minnesota, maybe who knows where I'll be when I'm in Minneapolis.
I've had the opportunity to go to Caroline's and go to the Cellar and go to the Comedy Store and stuff, and they'll all, if I've ever requested to sit up front, they'll put me right up front.
Yeah, because some people don't want to. Some people,
It's hard to see at the front sometimes because people keep saying, they don't want it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and one other question, Bonnie, what would you play for an intro song if Rich gave up those reins to let you play something?
I don't know. I'd have to really think about it.
But you got to admit, I play some pretty good songs, right?
Yeah.
That was very enthusiastic.
I'd probably go more current or maybe into some of the late '90s or something.
I don't know. How can you top, To Soar with Love or Puff the Magic Dragon or, just
Was that one of the previous intro songs?
Oh, he picked every.
I love it.
Live by the Sea, Frolic in. What's that?
I have to tell you, as a therapist, listening to Thursday's podcast is just a wonderful display of just communication breakdowns within a relationship.
Can you help us? Give us some free therapy.
No.
It was interesting because typically I seem to kind of side with Bonnie.
Oh, shit.
But on Thursday's show, I could see where Rich was coming from too. But the only thing that I would suggest you not do, Rich, is after you kind of explained that you didn't really kind of understand what she was wanting and all of that, you would shoot these kind of little barbs in there just to kind of hit your point home.
Yes.
That I would just encourage you to not do.
Oh, I thought you would tell me to do more of them.
No, like he's saying if I'm hurting and you see that, pull back a little. But
No, but he
I
was
feel
saying
like I feel like you see like a wounded deer and you're like you go in for the kill.
That's like a comedy thing, though.
Listen,
That's
my
training.
my other therapist.
That's what
I say this all the time. What makes him like an amazing comedian is what makes him also fucking unbearable as a husband. I mean, and I also am faced
Every
with
time before he has sex, he's like, "Is this thing on?"
That's what I do. But the truth of it is that I do understand that I am toying with genius. Like, I don't want to fuck it up for him. I don't want to like make him into this wonderful, well-rounded person who's able to talk to everyone because then he might not be the same person on stage. Do you know what I mean?
Well, listen, our other.
I do feel, but at the same time, so I try not to mess with it too much, but there are times when I feel like, last night when we were at Red Eye, I was carrying 18 bags and my daughter, and the woman that books the show, she was like, "Richard!" She got so mad at you because you never offered to carry anything, and she grabbed.
I know, but
you
those
took the
weren't my
coffee
bags.
out of my hand.
Those weren't my bags. I didn't bring them in.
See, but other people see like, hey, you could be a little nicer sometimes.
I was in another world. What I'm saying
that's
is,
the thing. You're always in another world.
I can't help it. I'm creating too. Just like I said, you were before. Our other therapist said though. Our last podcast, we communicated, but at the end, we still came together as a couple that loved each other.
No, I just gave up. I just give up. I just go, okay, well,
You
he's
didn't
never
give
going to
up.
see what I'm talking about. So
how about you're never going to see what I'm talking about?
You know what?
But I just said in
I'm
a
getting
very
earache.
nice soliloquy that I do get.
Okay.
I am.
All right, we both get it. Where's that festival tomorrow? Where you?
Tomorrow I'm in Calgary,
Thank
the
you for the
YY
call.
Comedy Festival. Google it, get tickets, and go. And then we're at the Red Clay Comedy Festival in Atlanta
This Friday and
Thursday. Friday and Saturday.
Thursday we'll do guest spots somewhere, but
Okay.
Friday and Saturday. And Wednesday you're where?
Wednesday, October 21st at Caroline's on Broadway. So go to carolines.com and get tickets. Promo code Harrison.
And Jason, call back anytime as our personal therapist.
No, we have Denver and we have Jenny.
They didn't call. They don't call.
Okay, so
He
you can
gives
call
real-
too. Okay,
real
Jason, you
advice.
can call too. We'll have 3 therapists.
Thanks, Jason.
Bye. I like Jenny better.